heart-to-heart storytelling, and I'm in the beautiful Strickland Forest at the back of Narara. And my story for you today is about somebody that lives in Strickland Forest, and his name is Larry. And this story is called Happy as Larry. Larry was a leech, just an ordinary sort of leech. He's about that long and very, very skinny, and he's brown with black racing stripes down the side. It was Mother Nature's little joke to give leeches racing stripes because they really don't move very fast at all with their sort of, squish and stretch, squish and stretch, squish and stretch walk. And Larry, like all other ordinary leeches, sucked blood. Now, leeches aren't trying to be mean and nasty or horrible when they're sucking blood. That's just what they do to eat. It's the way Mother Nature intended it. I mean, everybody's got to eat, don't they? And, well, Larry the leech was an especially kind and thoughtful and friendly leech. You see, he had been to leech school and he had learnt the leech rules. Never suck too much, only just enough, and never, never hurt anybody. And Larry always obeyed those rules, and besides that, he was extra friendly and polite. You see, when Larry saw a person walking down the bush path, well, he would get very excited. He would stand very straight and tall and smile his big leech smile. And if that person came even closer, well, Larry would start to do his little leech dance. And if that person came even closer, well, Larry would smile and have a quick look at their plump legs. And if they're still smiling and didn't seem to mind, then Larry would squish and stretch over to their shoe and climb on, and then he'd have a quick look. And if they still didn't seem to mind, Larry would squish and stretch up their sock and have another look. And if they still didn't seem to mind, Larry would squish and stretch up their leg and have a look. And if they still didn't mind, then gently, oh so gently, he would begin to munch and suck, munch and suck, munch and suck. But it didn't seem to matter that Larry was very friendly and that he never hurt anybody and he never took too much, only just enough blood. People just didn't seem to like him. You see, when some people saw Larry, they screamed, "Ah!" When some people saw Larry, they ran, "Ah!" and screamed. And when other people saw Larry on their leg, well, they flipped him. Ba-boom! Splat. Off into the bush. Poor Larry. He knew he was without a doubt the most unpopular leech in the forest. And this made Larry really, really sad. You see, not only was he friendly, but Larry loved people. I mean, not only their beautiful, warm, salty blood, but he just loved people, and he really loved their long legs. Larry might have only been a leech, but he had a dream. He had a dream to see the world, and, well, when he climbed up somebody's leg and was having a lovely meal, they would walk through the forest and he would get to see everything. He thought people were first class. You see, Larry being a leech, chances of seeing the world were very, very slim with his only squish and bunch, squish and squish and squish bunch walking. He wasn't going to see much at all. But on attached to a person's leg, well, that really was first class travel. Now one day, when Larry was just hanging around, somebody new came to the forest. It was Harry. And Harry was just a kid, just an ordinary kid. But there was something a little bit different about Harry. You see, Harry loved insects and bugs and slugs and creepy crawlies. He just loved all those things. And when he came walking, he had a magnifying glass. And he'd be walking down, looking at this, and looking at that, and looking at everything. And as he was walking down, looking for things to look at, well, Larry saw him coming and stood up very straight, smiled his big leech smile. And when Harry got even closer, Larry began to do his leech dance. And when Harry got even closer, Larry took a quick peek at those plump young legs. And then he began to stretch and squish and stretch and squish and stretch over to Harry's shoe. And he climbed on. And he took a quick look, but Harry was still smiling. In fact, he was really shocked because he hadn't really seen too many people smile at him. And Harry had a magnifying glass, so the smile looked really big. And so Larry and Harry sat there smiling at each other. So Larry then did a squish and a stretch, squish and a stretch, squish and a stretch up Harry's sock and had a look. But still, Harry was smiling. So he squished and stretched, squished and stretched, squished and stretched all the way up Harry's leg. And he had a look. And still Harry was looking through his magnifying glass at Larry on his leg and smiling. So Larry began to munch and suck, munch and suck, munch and suck on Harry's leg. And still Harry smiled. And then, much to Larry's delight, Harry began walking through the bush. Not only that, as he walked, he talked. And he began to tell Larry about all the other amazing insects in the forest. About the giant spiders in the trees, and about cockroaches as big as mice, about all sorts of wonderful things. And all the while he walked and he talked and he walked and he talked, and Larry was munching and sucking and munching and sucking and munching and sucking and growing bigger and fatter and bigger and fatter and fatter and fatter until he was so big and full he was barely recognizable. Well, just at that moment, Harry looked down at Larry with his magnifying glass. Oh, Leech! You are without a doubt the most amazing creature in the whole forest. And Larry was so surprised, so delighted, he fell off Harry's leg with a plop into the forest litter on the floor. Well, Larry was just sort of rolling around there, so big and full. He really wanted to stand up straight and tall and smile his best leech smile to say thank you to Harry. But he was just big, too fat and full to move. Well, sad to say that Larry never met Harry again. But Larry always remembered that perfect day when he went for a walk through the forest on Harry's leg and he showed him the sights. That was the best day of his life. And now, well, anytime someone saw Larry and he'd go, ah, screaming from the forest, or if someone saw Larry and ran and screamed, ah, out of the forest, or when someone found Larry on their leg and they, boom, flicked him off, well, Larry would just think back to that perfect day with Harry. And whenever he thought of that, he thought no one could ever be as happy as Larry. Stretch.
No, I was sucking.
No,
No.
squish. Stretch. Squish. Stretch. Squish. Stretch. Squish. Bye-bye, Larry. You going to take Larry for a walk through the forest, Wolf?
Don't think so. I think he'd stay here.
Squish and stretch. Squish and stretch. Squish and stretch.
That's it.
Hi, this is just one of the beautiful streams you can find in Strickland Forest. It really is a beautiful, beautiful rainforest. There's quite a few different types of forest here. Now if you do happen to find Larry the leech somewhere along the path, well, leeches really don't hurt. They just do like to suck a little bit of blood. The females have to suck blood so they can lay their eggs and have babies. So you can flick them off your leg or pull them off, but if you just want to watch it and maybe take photos of it having a suck, it really is quite a fascinating process. And yep, so they don't hurt, and it might bleed a little bit afterwards as they fall off, but why not give a leech a feed? Everybody's got to eat, don't they?